welcome. Today I am in Valparaiso, Indiana. Jacob and I came up here sadly because of the passing of his stepfather Keith, who was a tremendous individual. I wanted to make a brief video just talking about Keith and his influence on me and his family before jumping back into the usual Jen cheeriness. I usually start off by saying today's an exciting day, and it's not. It's a sad day, but it's also an exciting day because we get to celebrate Keith and the impact he's had on so many people. I met Keith about 3.5 years ago, and when I met him he was already diagnosed with colon cancer. The diagnosis actually came in when Jacob was first coming to see me at my apartment. We had already met, we were already dating, but this is the first time he was coming up to New York, to Rochester, to stay with me, and he found out on the way, and I could tell he was trying to hold it together. He was trying to have a good time with me, but I could tell that the emotion and just the toll it took on him, and like to the point that eventually I had to be like, I know that it's supposed to be a happy time, that you're coming to see me and all this stuff, but I get it. Like, both my parents have passed. It's not an easy endeavor to deal with the death of a parent or step-parent. My parents weren't great. We're just going to leave it at that. My parents weren't great, so being welcomed into Jacob's family has been a true blessing. Like I said, I've only known Keith for 3.5 years, but he's already had such an impact on me. Just an amazing man, also an amazing doctor, and with my ailments he's always been front and center trying to help. Actually, this last time that I saw him for the 4th of July, I went in to give him a hug, and he was immediately, the first thing he was doing was asking how I was feeling, checking out my nose, my lupus scarring. Yeah, just, he was selfless. He used to greet me at the door as soon as I came in, any hour, since I'm a night owl and I tend to come in to the house late. I leave at like noon and get into Valparaiso at like midnight or so, and he was always awake. He always was there to carry my stuff in the door. When I came this time and he wasn't there, it was immediately noticeable, because I'm like, oh, I guess I'm carrying this in this time. Just an incredibly selfless man. He made me feel more welcome and loved than I have by my own father, and that's a lot of what people were saying during the funeral and the wake. Just that he was an incredibly welcoming individual, incredibly kind, funny. Yeah, just, we had the same kind of taste in music. We would talk about like Fleetwood Mac and the Beatles, and he didn't really get into the punk and metal stuff that I do, but we definitely had some good conversations about classic rock. And yeah, there's pictures of him and Jacob having a lightsaber duel one Christmas when Jacob's nephews got lightsabers. Like, they're not just for kids, the adults were playing with them too. And I mean, he just brought this energy and light and joy to the room, and I think it really is just admirable, just the type of man he was. Yesterday at the wake, over 500, almost 600 people showed up. I've never seen that kind of outpouring anywhere. Just, I feel like the whole town showed up to celebrate him, and I feel like that is deserved. He just was one of a kind and has definitely changed my life in just the few months that I knew him. But like I said, with my parents not being the best, this has been hard on me in ways that I didn't think it would. Just seeing all the outpouring of love here, all the people coming together just to help out Jacob's mom and the kids and everyone in this sad time is incredible. I haven't seen anything like that. The stories of Keith, and there's 5 kids total, his 2 daughters and then Jacob's mom's 3 children, and so it's a blended family of 5, and he made everyone feel like the greatest person around. When he was younger and his daughters were younger, he used to carry hair ties around with him in case one of the girls needed one, and he would just miraculously pull it out of his pocket or his wallet. And I was like, I didn't know that dads even did things like that. His one daughter was talking about how he used to sing "Return to Pool Corner" to her, which I've been listening on repeat and being sad. But yeah, it was just like a shock. I was like, I didn't know that fathers did these things. So seeing the love here and being welcomed into this family, and now that we're engaged, like really being welcomed in this family has been so positive, and like it's just overwhelming, really. But yes, I just wanted to make a quick message, just sending my love out to Jacob's family right now as they are healing and will continue to do so. Yeah, it's difficult. The whole family dynamic will change, and I was excited to be a part of the original dynamic, but I am also excited to be a part of what's to come. Just sharing in the stories, and every single one I get more and more excited hearing. Keith has a lot of fun stories. He was a funny guy, and that's another reason I looked up to him. His sense of humor was just bar none, just insane. He had a lot of costumes like I do, and I definitely enjoyed that. He wrote a rap song, and his girls are trying to find it, and that's amazing since I make up all my little ditties. So just a lot of stuff that when I met him, I saw myself in him, and just so many little things, his little quirks that were amazing, and stuff that exceeded me. His inventions, he just liked to tinker and make things, and he was first and foremost for his family just an amazing man, always there, like I said, with the luggage. And yeah, it's just incredibly sad, and I know how it is to lose parents, so it's hard to see everyone going through this since I care about them, and I just wanted to make a quick video, more so as like a diary. I kind of think of my channel as a diary, whether it comes to me talking about my lupus, talking about other things. And yes, he was also important in my lupus diagnosis. He would answer any questions I would have. He would help me if it came down to an emergency. Being a doctor and all, he was always in my corner. He even when I would like have pain that I didn't know what it was, he would line me up and be like, no, it's not that. No, you're good. Stop worrying about that part. It could be this, it could be that, but it's not that. So he definitely knew how to keep you grounded. The one time I was just talking about with Jacob's mom an ailment, and he was sitting on his computer, just, I didn't even know he was paying attention, and he didn't even look up. He's like working on his work, and he's like, it's this, blah, 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 and I just couldn't believe it. I was like, people have been trying to figure out what's going on with me forever, and he just like says it just nonchalantly while working on another file or whatever he was doing. Just an incredibly smart man. When I was going to keep the pool, I asked him how to monitor the chemicals, and his first degree was chemistry before he went into becoming a doctor, and he went into so many different technical elements of the chemicals and how they interact, and he thought it was a fun hobby keeping up the pool, and I was like, this all seems incredibly difficult. And we did end up eventually getting rid of the pool, not because of that, I mean that was part of it, but just so smart, so funny. I can see why he's such a hero to this family and the community, since so many people turned out to see him. And I just wanted to give my condolences, just talk about him, because I feel like he should be talked about, because he's such an important figure just in general, just a great man. And I sadly have not had as many great men influences in my life, and he was definitely one of them, and I am sad that he is no longer there for that influence. But a lot of what he stood for, I stand for, and I continue to plan on carrying out life with kindness and joy and laughter and silliness, and he did the same. And that just truly a huge loss. And there are exciting things coming up. There are trips coming up. There is stuff, but right now it's just time to pause and think about him, think about family, and yes. So today I'm not feeling well, both emotionally and lupus wise. So it's just a day of blah. If you can describe it, like everyone's like, oh, how are you? I'm like, blah. Like that's how basically the entire family has been answering. Like, oh, how are you doing? Like, yeah, like you're not like I mean, you're upset, but it's just like more than that. It's just a feeling of blah. Like you still laugh and remember and do all these things, but it's just, there's a loss, and it takes a long time to get over a loss. And so I'm glad Jacob is taking time. I'm glad the whole family could get together, and yeah, I'm happy to be joining this family that is filled with so much love and so much kindness and so much support. But yeah, I wanted to make this video before we get into the happiness again, because I didn't want to transition from like, okay, I can't even think of what my last video was. Maybe Buc-ee's, like, oh, yay Buc-ee's, and then there's a gap and we're like, oh, yay Toys R Us or whatever. I mean, Toys R Us isn't around, that was a bad example, but I mean, I guess the standalone, like the in-store. So we'll just use Toys R Us as the example. So like, yay Buc-ee's, yay Toys R Us. In between, it should be noted, and because Keith was an important man, I don't want to just gloss over it. So remember him, remember your family, be kind. That's kind of what I stand by. And yeah, I guess that's it for now.